Yes. So,
Daniel,
Daniel, your call.
please tell us about your
Okay, well, good
experience with
morning,
biocoherence
everyone.
so far.
I'm glad that the session today will be on the 21-day meditations. What I'm doing now is pretty much, I haven't really tested anybody in the beta, um, but I have started the 21-day meditation, and I'm using the Dan Winter, Patrick Bate plasma fire uh, balls. And I originally was using it with the piezo fire discs, which is fine, but the Flame and Sound software only generates a generic tone for systems. The biocoherence, after I do, and I keep it analyzing myself every day, adding to that the analysis, which I'm sharing to the cloud and opened up for research.
Mhm.
And Um, I have found that I listen to the binaural beats in my office, but then when I go to bed, I have the plasma fire uh, balls on my nightstand. And the thing I like about biocoherence is it generates the frequencies based on my chord, which is a G sharp major seven. And I go through and I still have the meditation words in there, but it still does the frequencies, and both plasma balls are on my nightstands, which is the perfect separation, just under a meter between everyone, and I'm in the center. And I find that when I put it on a loop, I have to get up and turn it off in the middle of the night because it really, really affects your body. I can feel it, but my body is going, no, no, we should be awake when you're doing this, not when you're sleeping. So I have to get up and turn it off. I always listen to at least one full loop on the plasma fire, but I mean, when you stick your hands around the ball is just one ball. You can literally feel the frequencies. I can feel it, right? And then I am in that field in my room. Um, I think that what we should try to do is, and Medrick said he was going to think about it, is if there's a way to isolate and then subset the frequencies so that we can. I don't know about Plymouth for this right now because it's really behavioral health, and I'm going to need to maybe do a one-on-one with Stephen and you, Medrick, to figure out the biomarkers because I need to show repetitive, they need to chart this and they need to see improvements or no improvements. Originally, I thought, well, okay, we'll just do an analysis on the tenant. And then if they do go to the emergency room, which most of them do, we can send that piece of paper with them, say, look, this isn't medical advice, but if you're going to do tests, test this. It's just
Mhm.
like going to an optician or something, or like the way I look at it is, you know what? We don't do blood tests here, right? They have to go to the doctor for that. So what we're kind of doing is we're like a phlebotomist. Biocoherence is like a phlebotomist to say, okay, here's analyze, do all your tests, but you should really look at these things. And
Mhm.
then I have to put that into the I need some form of biomarker coherence or structure or charting. It's better if they do more than one analysis. And by the way, if it's at Plymouth, this will be in-house, and there will be offices in one central building, but there'll be sub offices in three of our buildings. They've already started behavioral health in one building. So I don't know enough about the software, or I can't show when enough. I mean, I already know it works. I'm using it. Like I said, with the either I listen to the binaural beats, I can feel that, I can feel it opening up. Um, but they need documentation. That's what they need, and I don't mean the manual. I need to know it enough to show them to give a presentation. Also, I'm going to
Do you have the
pay.
book?
I have the book. I have two books and the PDF.
One in
But
French and
And a
one in
PDF.
English so that you can practice your French.
well, no. I have the paperback and the Kindle in English, and then I have the PDF that Steven sent a link out for
Yeah.
in the biocoherence. So I'm going to pay. Well, I'm going to have acupuncture, but I don't know if I'll have enough time. But I'm going to I'm going to pay for an acupuncture session, whether I get poked with needles or not. And I'm going to bring the software and show the meridians because it's showing, it shows the meridians, like the V belt, that's really something that, you know, anyway, I think the pay is, she does the finger thing on the wrist, on the arm, right? And
Mhm.
she can tell, but for me, she's got to guess. And I've got to, talk with her and tell her how I'm feeling and stuff. But with this, when I take, and I'm going to show her right on the software, open it up, say, look, here's the meridians, here's my analysis, here is a series of progressions, right? These three or four or five or however many acupuncture points, S6, LH, LH or LTH or whatever, these are ones that keep coming up. And she should, I mean, if she doesn't understand the English, she should already know. Maybe one of these days we can put the change the language into kanji,
Yeah.
Chinese, you
Chinese,
know,
even?
yeah,
Chinese, we can.
because
Yeah.
yeah, because acupuncture, I mean, there's Americans. I mean, I've gone to physical therapy and they do acupuncture. I'm kind of nervous when they do it. I only did that once. But the Chinese alchemist, if she doesn't know what S6 means, she'll know what the kanji character means,
Yes, but
So,
we have the original name for each point, but it's in pinyin. But anyway, at one point we will add Chinese to the languages. In the last version, we have 6 languages. Um,
yes.
yes, and we will keep adding languages.
Also,
And we
my,
will have 4 languages by the end of the week for the audio meditations, audio cadences. And what you said
also,
about having the voice, in the next version, you can mute the voice. So you can have the meditation without the voice. So
okay,
all the effects and everything, but just not the voice.
okay. And then also and I'm very grateful, but my invite code expires in 3 days
Yeah,
for my
just send a
testing.
ticket, send a ticket to us, and we will issue you a new invitation code. Mm.
Okay. Anyway, thank you all for listening to my story. I'm very
Thank you
grateful
Thanks a
for
for
lot.
all
that.
your support.
That was very, very interesting. And I think perhaps maybe you should actually just go and just have a night's sleep tonight with no frequencies. Let them basically
Yeah,
settle in.
yeah,
I mean,
yeah. Well,
and
I
and also, how do you sleep with
no,
those
no,
headphones
it's
on?
not sound. It's not
Okay, okay.
sound when I sleep. I listen to the binaural beats. Like I'm sitting at my desk at work, so I have my office at home. I'm running a PC. I listen to it either on these or I have Bose desktop speakers, so I get full spectrum frequency. And then I will listen to the binaural beats and then meditate just in sound, just to see first, is something, is it going to be really scratchy or screechy or, I listen to it first. And then if I don't get any weird side effects, I mean, I'm always feeling it in my body, but I listen to it first and then I plug it in to the plasma fireballs at night in my bedroom.
Very
Hmm.
good. Well, I guess will we start then? Will I introduce the 21-day
Yeah,
balance?
sure.
Okay, so thank you all. Hey, Suzanne, Frederick, Christoph, Anton, TJ, John, everybody's here. Um, Today, if you go through the back catalog of YouTube films, you'll see that we basically have explained a good chunk of the product in a lot of detail. But as you can see, it's a very, very, very big product. So what
Yes.
we have done is we have basically taken a piece of it out and we've called it the 21 day balancing program that you can essentially promote to your clients, to your patients, to your customers as a way for them to actually come into your practice, do a scan using the BioCoherence sensor right here. Once the scan is completed, you can basically send an invitation for the clients to install the application on their smartphone. Once they have it installed, they will be able to see their PDF report, basically outlining the details of the scan. as well as all of the frequencies that have been built for them based on the scan, as well as a 21-day balancing program, which basically combines all of the frequencies with spoken word meditations that are designed to go to target the specific areas that need to be worked on in terms of the resources and the priorities. So we have the program is ready to go now. We do have some people are testing it out. Once the client receives it, they basically listen to the balancing program each day. It takes between 30 and 40 minutes each day. It keeps track of their progress. So day one of 21, day two of 21, etc. You can then also bring the client back in to basically do another scan, or you can rent them one of these sensors so that they can actually take it home with them. So they can, in theory, have one scan and it will build the 21-day program for them. But it's actually better if they do a reevaluation every couple of days so the actual algorithm can be updated and improved and tweaked to basically go with their progress. Yes, Daniel.
So I think that this is a great idea, and I like the recurring revenue. But is there a way through when we send an invite for them to look at their PDF, and I don't have a problem. I'd like to buy some more of those sensors, but give the sensor to them. It's only good so it picks it up if they can do Bluetooth, and then like not, well, I'm going to say remote desktop, but they're in the program. If it's already saved to the cloud, could it be possible to update that remotely? Because, what if it's elderly people or, they'd have to take a bus or something. And I'm just thinking of an ease of access for the 21 day. I'm sure I'd love to come and have them come to I'm probably just going to set it.
Completely get that. So then what you can do is you can basically give them a sensor. Like, so if you have a batch of sensors in your practice, you can basically give them a loan of a sensor, or you could choose to not do the reevaluation while the program is taking place. But if you do want to do the reevaluation, which is the best practice, you would basically rent them the sensor and it will be included in whatever your consultation fee with the end user is. And then at the end of the process, they give you the sensor back again. Does that answer your question?
I just, well, kind of. Really, what my question was is it possible if they're doing the 21 day and they're not, they're not renting a room at my house, for the PDF use license that we send to them, and if they're capable, can that sensor actually lock up or sync up to their end user, which is only for 21 days, and then update the analysis? They wouldn't update it. They probably wouldn't even be able to see it, but it would be something that we could then either forward to a professional, or at the very least have me look at it and say, oh, okay, you're doing good, but you need to be more still.
But it's exactly how it works. If you are a professional and you created a report with the priorities and resources and specific frequencies and protocols, and you share this report with your client, he just has to enter the same email that you entered as a client when he logs in the app, and he will get your report. And each time he does a recording with the sensor that you loaned him, it will update the report, and you will get the update through the cloud directly. So when you open the report, it will sync with the cloud, and it will take all the recordings that have been made at this place, and you will see the evolution. So you can check, if you want to check on the evening how your different customers are going, you just open the report and you see the progress.
It's actually very, very simple to use, actually. And yeah, when they scan, when they use it, because you are there, because you are the practitioner, you will essentially have the same information that they have. And we have also we have a version of the client application that basically takes out a lot of the really, really heavy technical information and just basically displays exactly what the end user needs to see, which is their report, which is their frequencies, which is the balancing program. And then at the end of the process, then they will basically give you the sensor back. And
just to show you what it will look like, in the next version, you have now two direct links on the top here, which will be available as soon as you start one meditation. You have a direct access to the meditation here and a direct access to the frequencies here. And it will be the same for the customer, but it will be even simpler because if it doesn't have a sensor, it doesn't have these buttons. And if it doesn't have other analyses than the ones that you did, it doesn't have this. So it will be very easy to manage. Okay. And so you can, as you said, Daniel, you can do the frequencies as much as you want during the day, and you can even there will be a slight modification in the book because I will add some notes about the transducers. Just in essence, it's possible to play the frequencies, and you just plug headphones, in headphones. You just plug them in your MP3 player or in your smartphone, and you just put them in your pocket. You don't even listen to the frequencies. You just keep the in-ear headphones as close as possible to the skin, and it will emit a very light electromagnetic field. And inside the headphones, there are some magnets that move to transform the electrical signal into an acoustic signal. And these magnets are creating micro magnetic fields. So if you just keep this in your pocket and you just play the frequency files in loop, it will deliver the frequencies to your body. And you can even put that close to where you need to act. So if you have pain somewhere, you just put that as a transducer, exactly like, as you said, you are using Dan Winter's transducer. So it's the same principle, but if you just use plain headphones that cost a few euros, and that are anyway given with every MP3 player or smartphone, it will do the trick of being a transducer and giving you magnetic information to your body directly. So in this regard, you can just directly play the frequencies from your smartphone in a loop. And again, if you go to the frequencies, there are some news here on top, which allows to filter the program. So say you do a very, very long program like that, and you want to just act on the mind. You just click on mind, and it will limit to 9 minutes, So the complete one is 28 minutes. So you want to just work on energy, it will be 7 minutes, just on the body, just on the mind, or new markers. So this is, when you are here, you have some qualities. So attention, intention, horizon. If you don't remember, just go to the book or to the former webinars. But now you can have a selection which is high attention or dispersed. So high attention is the one that you are currently focused on. So you can maybe choose to enhance this focus by listening to this particular subset of the frequencies. Or you can choose dispersed, which is all the loose elements that have to be worked on. And maybe this one you want to play on loop and put it in your pocket all day and reinform your body and your mind of all these elements that you have to work on, okay? And you can also do a subset of all the elements that have a protocol added. And so this one is more for working. And you can export, if you choose, for instance, with protocol and you click on export, it will export directly a file that contains only the protocol. And you can save it. So you can, in a sense, you can save every one of these elements and create a kind of album. Okay, and with this album, you can just launch the MP3 from your MP3 player or from your smartphone. And there is even a nice cover now, which is generated and which is different for each one. So you have your picture, you have the title of the session. And so you can browse or you can send the MP3 by email or share them with your customers. and they can directly have a nice MP3 with a cover. And it is also organized as it should in, for instance, Apple Music or any music player.
Okay.
So this is a new way to, this will be probably further enhanced, but right now this will be in the next version like that. And this is a new way to create some new subsets. So as before, there is a first export with the WAV file. And then there is a second export with the MP3, which is a bit long. So you have to wait for it to be complete. But as before, if you want to stop encoding, you can just save the WAV file directly. So if you want a WAV file, just stop the encoding of the MP3 and you get the WAV file. Okay. The WAV file should be of a slightly better quality than the MP3, but honestly, it's not really noticeable. So don't bother to save the WAV file because it's something like 10 times heavier than the MP3. So my advice would be to just wait for the MP3 to be complete and save the MP3. But it depends on the device, but you see, to generate a 10-minute file, it will need something like 1 minute, little bit less. So what I will probably do in the next version is one button to export every variant in a row. So create all the MP3 in the background, and when it's ready, you get a notification and you can just download everything at once. But it might be limited by the computing power of the device. So I will try to do this, but no guarantee yet.
And actually, we just have a question there from TJ. He wants to know, does the sound make a micro current field without the headphones? Or do you need to have the headphones plugged into the phone in order to create?
You have to have the headphones plugged. The microcurrent is emitted. You have to have what's called a transducer, something that translates the signal from the file to your body. If you don't have headphones, it will be emitted by the speaker of your smartphone, and your smartphone is your smartphone speaker is a transducer also, because it will convert the numerical information in the file into pressure wave, and this conversion takes place with electromagnets. And these electromagnets make some magnetic waves. So when you have the phone and someone speaks, it makes a lot of different frequencies, so it doesn't have really effects. But with our sounds, it's pure sinusoidal frequencies that have bioeffects. So if you don't have headphones and you just want to let the phone play with headphones, with a speaker on your pocket, it will work. But I suggest that if you can, you use some in-ear headphones because you will not listen to the frequencies, so it will not disturb you it will not be conscious, but it will deliver the frequencies to your body, and you can apply them at different places with these little headphones.
Now, Kat wants to know, is there any specific type of headphones that we would recommend?
Basic. Okay, so the pain is that if you have an iPhone, you don't have a jack, so you have to buy a $10 Lightning to jack converter or USB to jack converter, and then you can plug a headphone. Don't use a Bluetooth headphone because one, it will deplete the battery, and two, it will add some permanent Bluetooth information on top of that, which is not desirable for a curative session, you know. So just use any basic headphone with a cable that you plug in the phone, or you just buy a little MP3 player. It should cost something like $10, you know. And I think we will do some branded MP3 players with BioCoherence on it that we will probably sell around $10 with a headphone. And the idea is that you just plug this MP3 player in your computer and you save the MP3 tracks on it, and you give it to the customer and you can say, okay, just play it on loop all day, and that's your therapy program.
Very good, very good. And we also
and Daniel has a question as well. Yeah.
When will that be available? Suzanne wants to know.
What, the frequency export? So the frequency export is already available. The sub frequency program export will be available in the next version, which will be delivered probably tomorrow, if everything is good, or Monday. So it's already working pretty well, but there are some other things in the update that I want to iron before distributing it. But it's definitely in the next update.
Yeah, I was thinking also about the MP3 player with the headphones. So you have like a full package that you could use.
Yes, yes. So
yeah.
right now you can just buy some MP3 players on Amazon if you want.
Yes.
With headphones, it's really a cheap device because it's made by millions. And probably at one point we will have some MP3 players with BioCoherence written on it, which will be even nicer to give to your customers because it adds another layer of information on it, which means that this MP3 player is really dedicated to deliver frequencies to the body, which is better.
And it is a great addition to the balancing program as well, which I think
exactly, because this is something that that will just remind your body to that the current work that you do with the balancing program is about. So it's fine. It's great to do both at the same time. Yes, Daniela.
So the frequencies that are generated, are those like binaural beats? So a binaural beat, you have this frequency and that frequency,
yes, no.
right at.
Yeah, I stop you because I can answer, sorry. The binaural beats are used during the meditation, but not in the frequency program. Because as you wanted to say, binaural beats needs, it's a purely psychological effect that happens in the brain, and you need to have it on both ears. So that's why when you do the meditation, it's better to do it with headphones because of the binaural beats. On the custom meditations are using pure frequencies and binaural beats, but the frequency program export is only using pure frequencies.
So I have two things quick. Just to confirm then, is there an advantage of creating a field with the headphones in your pocket? Like I'm thinking just like, like the wired ones versus just the inherent speaker in the phone?
You can listen to the frequencies, but if you don't want to listen to the frequencies all day, you can just deliver the frequencies to your body all day without listening to it.
Right. But I mean, as far as generating the field, is it better to have like the little phones in your pocket or just use the speaker right off the phone?
I'd say it's better to use the little phones, to use in-ear headphones. Because there are very small electromagnets inside that will deliver this information to you, and you can put them anywhere on your body.
Yes, that's better than just generating straight from the phone, you're saying?
And yes, because if you generate straight for the phone, you will listen to the frequencies, and maybe you don't want to listen to the frequencies all day because it might perturb you, or it might be an inconvenience to have some audio frequencies. Or
but
I don't know.
The field is the same then.
So one user said a few weeks ago that they were listening to the frequencies and the animals around were getting crazy. So it's also a solution to apply the frequency to only one person and not the whole room,
Okay. All right. Then the other thing is and you kind of touched on that with the MP3, but I think what was happening last night, because I was trying to do the meditation, is that my phone was like timing out on its screen, and then that turns off the frequency. Has anyone ever had that issue before?
Yes, no, you should not switch off the screen, but the application should lock the screen on.
It should keep it while it's running, because I think mine.
Yeah. But if your phone gets low on battery, it might nonetheless switch the screen off. But as everything is generated in real time, the screen has to stay on, otherwise the smartphone will kill the app. So we have a solution in the app that keeps the screen on, but you really don't. You should not switch the screen off, but it should stay on.
Okay, I don't know what happened to mine last night.
Maybe it was low on battery. Check that.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, you have to adjust the screen In iPhone, it's different in the depends on which operating system you're using. But I can show you the setting because I've done it for a client. Yeah.
Normally, the app should prevent the phone from switching the screen off.
Yeah,
But it doesn't work all time. So maybe you have to go to the settings and choose that the screen doesn't go off.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I've
it's a
had that
little
problem with-
inconvenience, and I don't have a definite solution for it. But that's the trade-off of having everything done in real time.
Well, I had the same problem with my PC. I would just generate the MP3, harmonize, and it would take a long time. And then I'd walk away from the computer and go do something else, make bread or clean whatever. But I'd come back and it would power off and it wouldn't keep harmonizing. So the simple solution was just to go into your power sleep mode, and I just change it there. It's one in PC. It's just one click.
Yeah.
And as long as the screen's on, it's not a problem.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? But yeah.
You just put it at 30 minutes or something then, Dan?
I put my screen on the PC to when it's plugged in to never turn off, and when it's running on backup 5 hours. And that, you could probably just do an hour, it'd be okay. But
when you launch the guided meditation, you can maybe just plug the phone, put it in airplane mode, and just launch the meditation. Yeah. Because when it's plugged, it shouldn't switch the screen off.
So then at the end of the 21-day meditation program, you'll be able to send, at the end of the first consultation, you basically send the client a link to install the application where they can listen to the frequencies, they can play the balance, and they can view their reports, as well as you keeping track of them remotely. And then soon you'll be able to give them an actual MP3 player that they'll be able to just basically keep on their person 24 hours a day, so that they are constantly getting the frequencies and the healing. But
so just to illustrate what you just said, when you're done with your analysis and priorities and etc., you just click here to share access to this analysis, and as soon as you click on share with the contact, it will send your recording to the cloud. And so you choose a contact and you say it's for this one, okay? So you save it to the cloud, and you can now invite them. And when you send an invitation, if it's a new contact, it will include their new temporary password. Or if it's an existing contact, it will just say, if you don't know your password, click on lost. But so if you just created the contact, it will generate a temporary password, and they will just get this email with the new login and password that they should use. And you can send it in any language.
May I ask something about this, Medrick? Hello, this is Jeran. We tried this sharing, after the update, and this seemed a bit too complicated for us. Is there no way to share it like the version before? The previous version was pretty easy to share files with.
Okay, so you have to be more specific, because I don't think I changed that since long.
Perhaps you can just actually go through a process where we're actually creating a new client. So your main account is the therapist, and somebody comes in the door and they want to engage in the program.
Yeah, sure. I just wanted to show about guided meditation, maybe. So just to be clear, when you want to work on an analysis, so you have everything about the different biomarkers here that we covered in the previous webinars. You can add some list items or frequency protocols, and the frequency protocols will be included into your frequency program, and that will be played along the different elements during the meditation. And you can also add some meditation items. So if you have some meditation lists like that, you can just choose some lists with audio meditations. And you can now see the whole text of these particular elements. And if you choose several elements in the same folder, like that. It will be played sequentially, one per day. Okay. So right now I have created a meditation that will be rotated every 6 days. And so first day, second day, third day, fourth day, etc., etc. So this will be part of the evolution of what happens every day into your daily meditation. So these meditations we have covered in a previous webinar how to create them, but in essence, you can just create a description, a text, and get the audio after a few days from in different languages. So that will be made by us, the translations and the audio. So, and in the future, it will be probably made directly in the cloud. So right now, it's possible to create meditations that are public, so general use meditations. But in the coming months, you will be able to create really custom meditations for only one customer, and just create the description. It will propose a text for you, and when you want to create the audio, you will get the audio a few minutes after that. So it will be really streamlined to make individual meditations. So that will also be very powerful.
So just actually to re-summarize that, in addition to the balancing meditations that are created automatically and basically played
from priorities and resources, yes.
Yeah, from here, you can basically create your own additions to their meditation as well. So if you want to help them to be more grounded, or if you want to help them sleep at night, or if you want to help them to clear out something specific that you found when you were in your consultation, you can basically add it to the top of the meditation. So you are now basically creating the meditations for the user, or you can select from a catalog of meditations that have basically been produced already. And this is the new screen.
So these meditations could be produced by us, or could be produced by you. If you have some specific skills and you want to translate it into a meditation, you can just go to list and create a new list which be of type meditation, and add some descriptions, generate the text, and then ask us to generate the audio. So in this first version, while it's in beta, it's only for public lists. But at one point, it will be also possible to make it for private users. So just for one person.
So let's just say TJ, for example, has designed his own set of meditations that will just be available for him and for his clients. And then potentially he would be able to even then sell those meditations in the overall catalog, right?
Yeah, exactly. You can put a price on your list, and people have to pay to use them. So, and then you get the money.
Very good. Very, very good.
So when people enter the guided meditation, we have just added a small text here to explain that they are engaging into the 21-day balancing program. So the idea is that every day, when you are on your homepage, you click on current meditation. It says day 3. So you click on it, and you just go directly to this page. So you skip you just have one click to do. It will download the audio for the day, and you just have to eventually adjust the length. So right now it's 45 minutes, but let's say, okay, I want to launch it, but a little bit shorter. So I can do it a little bit shorter, and it will remove some elements. And it will be 37 minutes or even less, 19 minutes. Okay, so let's do a very short meditation of 19 minutes. It will just cover 2 elements. Or maybe I want it to be longer, and this is 90 minutes. That's a lot. And it will cover more things. Okay. And then you can do a reevaluation, which will trigger a new recording if you want. Or you just start the meditation and it will launch the meditation. A new option, as I told you, Daniel, is that now you have a button here to mute the text. Okay, so you can just choose to listen to the frequencies and the sounds, and you can also use it. So here I have the text, here it is mute. Okay, so when it's mute, I can just read it myself because it's on screen. So let's say you are a yoga teacher and you want to build a group meditation. You can just read this aloud, and you as the teacher, you will guide your students, but you can just have the sounds and frequencies in the room and your voice, your own voice locally, that will tell the text, and you can of course adapt the text as you wish.
Very good.
Okay.
Could you just go back just to address the question about creating new clients? So could you
Yes,
just...
I will go back to that, but one thing first. There will be a new button here, maybe not in the next version, but in the forthcoming version, which is My Catalog. And the idea behind My Catalog is that you can build a custom meditation by just picking up priorities and save it to your catalog as basic general usage meditations. And these meditations could be only for you or could be public. And when it's public, anybody could just use this pre-recorded meditation. And the idea is that for end users that come to the application and don't have a specialist, they would be presented with a list of pre-recorded meditations that they could try immediately. And it would not be specifically tailored for them. So it would not be their resources and priorities, but it would be a meditation to, I don't know, to get more effect on this system or this system. So some general meditations, as you could find on any meditation platform, but we keep our focus on the body, the mind, and the energy. And these meditations would be signed by you on the public platform, and it also would be interpreted by you on the pro directory. So you, as a pro, would be credited as the creator of this meditation, which would give new users hints that they relate to what you do, and maybe they want to take an appointment with you. So we will start creating a few dozen generic meditations for different themes. And when we release the function, you can then start adding meditations to your own library and choose to keep them for you. And if you want to keep them for you, it's useful because you can just load them for a specific customer in a few clicks, or send them to a specific customer, of you. Or you can make them public, and then we will just review them and approve them to be on the public page. And when they are on the public page, user can just use them. So I don't know, maybe John, you want to make some generic meditations and improve your A site, and you can just use them as a first way to do something for your users without even measuring them, And then people will understand that if they do a measurement or if they take an appointment with a pro, they can have specific meditations which will be much more powerful because they will have specific resources and priorities and protocols and your knowledge.
John actually asked the question, can the 21-day program where no sensor is provided to the client, can it run entirely off a preloaded MP3?
No, because we don't export the meditations in MP3 yet, because it's just too long. So we might give some pre-recorded meditations as an MP3 for people to try it, because it will not be live calculated. It will be the same for everybody. So it's an option that people could have a taste of the app with some generic MP3s. But I don't think it will be possible to make MP3s with custom-made meditations, because it's just contrary to the principle of everything being made live for the person.
John, does that answer?
Otherwise, we would have to create one MP3 per day, and it would change maybe after a few days. So you would have to recreate all the MP3. So it's not really doable.
I think actually what John was trying to get at was like when we get to a point where we actually have an MP3 player that you basically put in the hand of the client when they leave the building, will that be sufficient for the full 21 days if they don't do a reevaluation? Now, this is actually something we don't have yet, but when we have it.
Yes, but again, we cannot export the MP3 of each track for the 21 days. It's not possible. So we can export the generic frequency programs, so the frequency programs, but we cannot export the audio meditations.
Okay.
Well, what I heard that being is if you had someone on a distance and they weren't able to get to a sensor, you could just send them a general, or they could log on to the app in that way and just do a meditation without getting sense. Is that what you meant?
Yeah.
Just
it would be a generic meditation, for instance, to heal your muscle pain. I don't know.
Yeah.
And we, as a therapist, would create some priorities for this. We would say it's just a 1 day meditation, so just one time, and you just play it, and it's 30 minutes, and you play it, and it will go through some resources and meditations that are the same for everybody. But it will give you a taste of what the custom meditations can do, you know. And then we could maybe do some psychological generic meditations, like I don't know, overcome a basic trauma, and it would be a 5-day meditation, for instance, because there would be a list of 5 elements with custom meditations. And this generic meditation would be launched on 5 days with these 5 list elements that are specifically written to overcome a basic trauma, and will add some basic mind or organ or energy biomarkers, so priorities, to help you cope with it. But it, again, would be generic. So the idea is that it would give you a taste of what you can do with the app, but the main idea is that the taste should lead you to take an appointment with a professional or buy a sensor to make a recording and make something tailored for you. But it would allow anybody to just install the app and start a meditation in a few minutes. So in this regard, it will be very, very efficient.
And I think you went through this a little bit, but I have someone asking for the app already, that they would do that. So if I went into the file and sent them the link, they can already they would just get it through the app store still, or would they have to do a test flight at this point? Or is that ready yet?
We are still on test flight, but
because you're saying that's the $10 a month thing to do the.
Yeah, anyway, everything is free while we are in test flight because it's still in beta. But I think we will be out of test flight soon because the main blockages was the quality of the audio voices, and this is being solved by the end of the week. So by the end of the week, we will have new voices in English, French, Korean, and Spanish. So it means by the end of the week, we have 16,000 new audio files that are ready to go in the app, which is completely crazy.
They sound fantastic, like the actual.
Yeah, and they are flawless. So the first version had some bugs and some very really strange things in the voice, but it was still the beta. But this is all solved. And this will be ready around tomorrow. So,
nice.
So this was one of the last things that we were waiting before going out of beta, and then of course the quality of the interface of the App Store page and so on. We are currently working on it. So what I mean is that going out of beta is really around the corner now.
So should I have them wait off? Have them wait for to get the app then, or?
Pardon?
I should have people wait then until that's finished?
No. You can. I think there is no limit on the number of people we can have in the beta. So if you have people excited to start now, you can just send the invitation. The invitation directs to biocoherence.net/install, but biocoherence.net/install redirects to biocoherence.net/beta. So anyway, they will be directed to the beta while it's in beta, and then it will go to the official App Store when it's released. So you can send today invitation links, just tell them that it's still in beta, so it will be necessary to go through test flight, but that will be resolved pretty soon, I think now.
So on this process of helping someone on board, yesterday I shared an invite to share a reading that I did a while back with a person, and they had a MacBook Air, okay, a Mac Air, and it asked them if they had which chip they had, because I guess if they have a Microsoft chip or something, maybe it's a different process.
It's normally Mac users should know what they have, but if you are not sure, you can just download the Intel that will work on the M1 chips. But it's better if you take the good version because it's two different compilations.
Because we couldn't get her set up. I'm just saying that it's I don't know.
Okay, so let me just show you
what I could do from a distance, but we were over the phone trying to get it set up so I could share the file.
When you are on a Mac, you just click on about this Mac, and it will tell you here Puce Apple M1 Max. So in English, I don't know, but the first line will tell you if it's an Apple M something or if it's an
what
Intel.
did you click? What did you click on to get there? I'm sorry, I couldn't see.
Here, Apple about this Mac.
Oh, okay. It's blocked out, I guess, because I see the recording up in the upper left. But yeah.
Okay. So top left on the Apple icon, on first item about this Mac, and it will tell you which one you have. Maybe I will see. I can probably detect it on the website and present the people with the proper compilation. When we are out of beta, this is something that we will probably do because when you install a software and you go on a website, it usually directly presents you the good one. So this is something that we will improve.
Could I just ask a question? I need to go off. And my daughter brought this up because I have done a scan, my oldest daughter, and she didn't want it saved to the cloud because it's her personal medical type stuff. Okay. Yep. And so that was a stopping point. In fact, she just kind of backed off on it, right?
No, because that's why we are local first. Everything is local first unless you want to share it to the cloud.
Okay. So how do I, in other words, so if I don't share it to the cloud, how do I get it to save local?
It's saved locally, automatically.
Okay. Where do I find it?
Okay.
It's not a separate file on my, and I'm talking PC, so this may not be something you can show me on the Mac.
Okay, so here you can save to the cloud or not. So if you don't check this, it will be just saved locally.
Okay. Locally in the program.
So you click here to save on the cloud or not, or you click here on the title, and it will show you this. And as long as you don't check save to the cloud, it's only saved locally, but it's not saved as a file on your documents. It's saved into a special folder that is part of the app. So you cannot you cannot find it in the file explorer. Well, I guess you could, but it's complicated.
Well, the other thing that I would add to that is now you have to share it to the cloud in order for them to get the link.
If you want them to download it on their own device, of course you have to share it to the cloud. You cannot. If your question is, can I give it from my computer to their computer without going through the cloud? That is not possible.
Okay.
So remember, Daniel, this is not the iCloud; it's the BioCoherence server cloud, right?
It's our own server, so it's not an Amazon server. It's not an Apple server. It's our own server, so there is only us on it, and we do the necessary things so that it stays private on it. So,
and that's what I asked the other day. It's private unless you share it for research, right? So no one's going to see it, and it's
private unless you save it to the cloud. Yeah. You can save it to the cloud without sharing it for research. When you check share for research, so just to be clear, I will share again. So when you save, if I just save this scan, it will save a 4 megabytes file on my computer only. Okay. If I save it again and I check save to BioCoherence cloud, it will save it on my computer, but it will also send a very small file to our cloud, which includes, in fact, only the recording, not only the recording and the priorities and resources. Okay. And it's saved on our own server, so we are the only one that have access to this server. Okay, this is a server that we manage ourselves. This is our own hard drive and so on. Okay. And then the third option is that once you save it to the cloud, you can share it for research. And if you do that, it will just flag this particular file that it has an interest for us to look at it at one point. And please, in this, if you do this, put something here. So this is interesting because okay. Because if you don't write anything here, we don't know why you shared it for research. So it's good if you share it for research. It's even better if you put a little bit of comments. But even if you don't put a comment, at one point we will start doing some deep learning on every result to see the correlation between what happens during the guided meditations, the picked up resources, the priorities, etc., etc. But we will do it only on files that are shared for research. Okay, so we will not do any deep learning, even if you saved it to the BioCoherence cloud. So this is an authorization for us to dig into this file and see if we can extract some features from it to further enhance specific biomarkers. Or my goal is that I want to be able to produce double-blind studies and graphics on every biomarker. And for that, I will have to do a lot of deep learning digging on every recording that we have. So at one point, we will also include here into the ULA another authorization to share your recordings for validation. So for scientific research, and it, of course, it will be entirely anonymized, of course.
We just have a question from Frederick as well. Now, he said that we have discussed this in the past, but what's the difference between a meditation and a recipe and how it's made? Or Frederick, if you want to switch on your mic, you could even...
No. Okay. I'm just thinking about it. So the meditation is made from your priorities and resources. So you have the analysis. You can go to any screen and add some elements. So for instance, if you want to work on the large intestine, you just add it to your priorities like that. And you can do the same for every biomarker. Then you have here 44 priorities, 10 resources. You can also change the resources if you want. Just click on it and change it. And when you have all this, it will build a frequency program and a meditation program. The frequency program will be done. What's happening? Okay. So that's a bug. The frequency program, you can add some protocols on every item. And then the guided meditation will be changing every day. And you can actually preview the whole program by clicking here, preview 21-day program. So you can preview the text for today. So this will change every day. And you can preview the whole program. And you can see that every day it will change. But this is provisional. The further you go to the next days, the more it is subject to change, because each time you do a reevaluation with the sensor, it might change things here. But you can see that every day, different resources will go to different priorities. So you can see the preview of this. In this program, to answer your question, Frederick, we don't put directly recipes, we put the acupuncture points that are here. So you see there are 15 different acupuncture points that are rotated every day. These acupuncture points come from the priorities of you see I have only 2 TCM points, but I have a lot of recipes. And these recipes have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 14, 13, 14. So there are 14 points here plus 2 here, and probably 1 point that is the same. So in total, we have 15 different points. So if you choose a recipe, it will actually work on the different acupuncture points of this recipe. So we don't work directly on the recipe in the meditation, on the frequencies. We work on the frequencies of the different acupuncture points that are part of this recipe. So I hope it answers your question.
He hasn't said anything, so I presume it's okay. I haven't heard from him.
I'm trying to unmute. I couldn't unmute. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yes, Frederick.
Yeah, sorry. Pushing on the button, it wasn't unmuting. No, so then the recipes are generated automatically. Is that it?
The recipes are from a fixed database of recipes, but they are chosen according to the evaluation of the individual.
Okay, so I don't have to worry about writing recipes. I just pick the ones that are there ready, linked to the. Okay, that was the question. Okay,
yes,
got it.
But you can also pick up other recipes according to the different priorities. And if you are not sure that the priorities are actually the ones that you want to work on, because sorry, up. Okay. When you are in the priorities, you always have this button Explore. And so if you click on Explore on the right of recipe,
okay,
you should on the right have some recipes. I don't know why you don't have them, because probably I already. No, okay, now I have them. So you click on Explore and you have some other propositions here that are related to the current evaluation.
Okay, I see.
This is also according to the recording. Okay, so everything that is here inside are the ones that are probably interesting for the user that you are doing a scan on. So you just have to review them and maybe speak with them, and they might say, okay, you know what, back pain doesn't really relate with me today, so let's remove it. But I'm really interested in working on my constipation, for instance. So you just add them. And this is how you do a custom meditation.
I got it. Okay. So you customize by using different recipes that are pre-organized for you.
Yes, or different meridians, or different organs, or different atoms. So it's the same for all these principles. So you can just...
now this, I don't know if this applies only to me, but the latest version, it's fudged out on the side, like my biomarker, that screen, I can't click on it anymore like I did originally, because I think the 1 month trial is over. Is that what happened?
Yes, probably.
So I thought
while we are in beta, you can just send a ticket to get an extension of your trial.
Oh, okay. Fine, I'll send that to.
Unless you prefer to buy something right now, in which case I'm happy to make.
Well, I thought I did. I thought I put the monthly amount in there.
Yeah, you're welcome to do it, of course.
Okay, that's fine. So do I do it online or?
You can do it online, sure.
Yeah. Okay.
Something else I wanted to show you, because you spoke about it earlier, Stephen. When you go on user seminar. So biocoherence.net/user seminar, you have the complete playlist here, but we also added yesterday blog entries that are made from each seminar. So if you don't want to watch 8 hours of seminar, you can just read them. So you have the seminar, and then you have a quick recap of everything that was said during this particular seminar. So when we have 40 items here, maybe it's quicker to read them. Okay.
Okay, very good. Yeah. Can we go back to the question that was asked by Sarah at the start about our problems with client management? Or do you want to actually, do you just want to explain it again there?
I guess the problem that I was getting was related to the difference between a free account and the pro account. So I guess with the free account, I was able to share the PDF files because there was only the PDF files. But now with the pro version, the files are too big to be shared, so I cannot really export them. But then my new question is it possible now with the pro version to just export the PDF file?
Yes.
Like off, yeah.
Yeah,
Then
yeah.
I'm.
So when you are on the PDF, oh, there is also news on the PDF, by the way. So if you click on PDF, it will generate some pages, and you can just send it by email, share it directly by message, for instance, or WhatsApp, or what you want. Save the file or print it. So if you want to print it, you can just click on it like that. If you want to save it, you can just save it on your computer. If you want to share it, it will propose to send it by I don't know if you see that WhatsApp, AirDrop, etc., or message. And the latest option is this one, the first one. This one will actually send the PDF to our server and prepare an email for you. And the PDF is attached to the email. So in this case, you can just hello, this is your report, and that will send to the email of the customer directly from our server. So it means it doesn't even go from your computer's email. So this should be the most straightforward way to send it. Just a word of caution with that. When you use this function, it is sent from our server, so it is sent from our email address. It's probably reports@biocoherence.net or something like that. So it is not sent from your own address. If you want to send it from your own address, you have to save it here and then add it as an attachment to your own email client.
Perfect. Thank you. Thank you very much, Madrid.
Can I ask another question?
Yes.
So what is your feeling about the EMFs from an electric car, which they are generated, and can the meditation neutralize or create coherence even though those EMFs are around us while we're driving?
Okay, two answers. The first one is that EMF burden is like any other burden on the system. Usually one burden is okay, 10 burdens is too much.
Okay.
And everything is just cumulative. So if you are sensible to EMF, but you are otherwise healthy and you make a lot of sports and you eat healthy, etc., you will not feel anything. But if you eat junk food and you are just sitting all day and making no sports, and you have some parasites and some disturbances, and you also are sensible to EMFs, then you will be absolutely down in the cellar. So in this regard, you can just play the frequencies that are related to, let me see again. We have some things in energy, which are momentum, geopathy, radiation, harmful energy. Yeah, you can play this one. So you can create
we can't see your screen.
A frequency program and just add.
Screen.
You can just add radiation, harmful energy, and maybe geopathic stress.
We don't see your screen.
We can't see the screen.
Sorry, I don't share the good one. Okay, back. This one. Okay, so when you are here on energy, you go to momentum.
Okay.
And the first one is restraint geopathy, and you can just add geopathic stress, radiations, and harmful energies. to your priorities and export the frequency program and just play this frequency program, for instance, with the headphones on your body while you are in the car, and you should feel better.
Okay. Well, some of
We'll
it is
feel
not
better.
conscious, but we were talking previously about the tumor behind my eye, and I've been driving a hybrid car for 24 years, the first Prius, and I thought there might be a relationship between tumors and EMFs.
It might be, but it's impossible to say for sure, because everybody is different and everybody is sensible to certain burdens and not other burdens. So it's not possible to say for sure there is a correlation between this kind of fields and what happens in your system. And what I can say for sure is that usually it's an array of different burdens that creates problems in the body, not just one.
Given that you drive a Tesla for the last 10 years, I think you're not worried about it.
Yes, and I measured it with biological tools, and it's absolutely clean. But I can't say the same. I cannot say the same for every brand, sadly. So I did not measure Prius, but some brands are absolutely junk. But Tesla has made a very good job of isolating their cables, I think, because there is absolutely no burden in the car.
Oh, okay. No burden in the car. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
So you measured it with an EMF reader, because I'm looking at just like to see if it.
No, you can. This is something that you can measure with your hands, but you can also measure it with EMF devices. And I actually have some.
I have an app on my phone.
It's possible to measure all these things with EMF measurement devices. Yes.
Yeah. I use my phone. There's an EMF reader on the phone.
An app. No, if it's okay.
Okay. Okay. Thanks.
John, I'm not sure if that question is for the recorded call.
So maybe we should stop the recording now, unless there are other questions. Okay, so let's call it a day. And thanks for your attention.
I had one thing quick. It doesn't need to be recorded. I really liked what you guys said about having your voice go onto the meditation, like the person's own voice.
No.
Did I catch that right? No.
What? Say it again.
Did you say that you're working on getting a thing where the person's own voice, or is that just if they read it to themselves?
No. Yes. What I was saying is that with the next version, you can mute the voice of the guided meditation, and if you mute it, you can just read it.
Yeah.
But so if you are doing some group meditations and you want to play one of these meditations that you built, you just choose some priorities. And you launch the meditation and you just mute the voice and you can say the script.
Right.
Yourself.
So I heard that wrong, because I just had the idea that you'd have like a thing built into there where someone could read it into the app, and then it would have your own voice giving you the meditation, which I think might be super powerful, because if you get to people where they hear their own voice and everyone's like, oh no, that's what I sound like. Ooh, there may be something
I'm not sure it's a good idea.
You know what I'm saying though? If you're feeding back like your own voice into that meditation and then you acclimate to it and see what it sounds like, that might be something that's super medicinal rather than someone else's voice.
Yeah,
do you know what I'm saying? You following me?
I'm okay. It would be complicated because it would require a lot of computing power, etc. In principle, it could be done. Practically, I'm not sure it's a good idea. But what we will do is that in the not so distant future, we will propose different voices. So right now, it's my wife's voice.
Right.
But we will also add probably my voice or anyway a boy's voice. Because some people will more relate with a girl's voice and some people will more relate with a boy's voice.
Right.
So there will be at least this choice of a female or a male driver. You know?
Yeah, I heard it that way. I guess I heard it differently, and then I thought that was a brilliant idea, just medicinally, that, it's like yourself is like kind of like your higher self telling yourself these things rather than someone else.
Yes, but I don't know for you, but I don't like hearing my own voice at all.
Well, right. That's why it's probably medicinal for you.
Sure,
You know what I mean?
sure.
The things that you don't like, what you resist, persists, and then you're able to get your own voice. I don't know. I think we're onto something with that one. And I heard it there and I saw that. I was like, oh, that's genius. Yeah.
Okay, anyway, I'll stop the recording now.